Hello Loomers, this is Chidero and I'm bringing you a new tutorial on a wonderful bracelet designed by Instagram Crazy Just Might Work and YouTube Suzanne HB. You can find her fabulous account linked below for both YouTube and Instagram. She has amazing designs because they're so versatile. I'm one of her biggest fans, so I very much enjoy doing tutorials for her. So thank you, Suzanne. This bracelet is called the Dense Foliage bracelet. As you can see, it's very dense and crowded. You know, a lot going on. But I tell you, it is extremely flat and comfy. Very, very comfortable bracelet to wear. And this is somewhat of a prototype from the Lush Foliage bracelet that Suzanne created as well. And the tutorial for this bracelet can be found on my channel. I love this bracelet. So, this one you can do in a billion color combos and come up with awesome looks. Suzanne used 2 colors in hers, so when you check out her profile, please check out the original Dense Foliage bracelet. But this one here, if you give it a little bit of a pull, they turn into hearts. So if you loom it in a certain way in color, you can actually have hearts, which is genius. I love it. So in other words, like this one here, it fits all the way around my wrist perfectly, just the way it is. It's dense. If I wanted the look of the hearts, I wouldn't make it as of a, you know, it's not tight on my wrist, but I wouldn't make it as long. I would make it probably to here, and then you would have the appearance of hearts, which is so cool. So let's go ahead and make this bracelet. Supplies are simple. As requested from Suzanne, I'm going to do somewhat using 2 crochet hooks. Now these are 3.25 millimeter hooks, and we can use 2 for transfer. And I'm going to make this in crazy different colors because I want to be able to show you, if you would like to change up the colors, how to do so. So as we're looming the whole bracelet, I'm going to just do sections of different colors. So my first colors I choose are Rainbow Loom's opaque bands. These are, I believe, like navy blue or dark blue and like teal or turquoise. Okay, so first thing we're going to do is we're going to create our cap band as we normally would for any bracelet. Just wrapping it around our hook, placing a band there and sliding it on top and placing the other end back up like that. Okay, now we're going to do Suzanne's infamous leap step. I think it's called, like, it's either the leap hook step, but it's a great idea. We take 2 bands, and so I'm left-handed, so the one in my left hand here I place under the one in my right hand, and I overlap them like that. Then I take my hook and I go under the first band, over the second, under, and then over again, just like that. And that just weaved in and out the 2 bands. And then I like to take the back band here because it's more of my fingers holding it, let go of that other band, and then voila, you have a band already placed on your hook. So we're going to hold on to the one down here with our finger, slide this underneath our hook, and then we're just going to take the first loop and slide that over like that. Push it down, take the one in your hand and put it back up. So this is what you should have. Okay, for every step we're going to do the leaf step twice. You'll see what I mean here. So again, you take your two bands, overlap them. Now I'm going to go under, over, under, over. Just like that. Take my one band, I'm going to pull down, have that loop underneath the hook, hold on to this band with my finger, and just going to take one and loop it over like that. Push it down, and then take the one you're holding with your finger and place it on your hook. And this is what you should have. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 bands up on top. And you see how we have this long end right here? We know we're getting ready to swip them over. Turn your bands around. So you can just hold this snug right here, and I turn my hook and carefully take your hook out, turn it, and put your hook back inside. And we are going to repeat what we just did. So every time that we turn, we begin the next set. And in each set, we do that leaf stitch twice, which you'll understand once we get moving along. So actually, once I turn it, I'm going to use a different color. So I'm going to use this turquoise. So again, overlap your bands. Under, over, over. Pull that down. Now this time, we're going to take 3 bands. Okay, so we have 6 on our hook, but we're going to just take 3 and loop 3 of them over. So that's 1, 2, then 3. Push that down and bring the one in your hand back up. So this is what you should have so far. So once you do one leaf stitch, we're going to do another leaf stitch, and in your second one you're only going to grab the last band or the first band on your hook. So again, I'm going to grab 2 bands, overlap them, under, over, over, pull that down, my finger in there, and now again only grab the first band and slide that one over and put this back up on your hook. So from here on out, we're going to start the pattern of the bracelet. This, what we did so far, was only to build to this step here. So if you can see, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You should always have 8 bands on your hook. So because we're having 8 bands, this is when it can become potentially a little tricky to transfer. So you can always grab another hook and then stick that hook in between all of those bands there. Grab a hold and then take out the initial hook. And now your bands are flipped and you minimized any switching of bands or not having any all the way transferred. So we're going to do again, it's from here on out, every time that you turn your bands, you do 2 leaf stitches. So we're going to change back to the dark blue. Grab the 2 bands, under, over, pull one down. Now, this time, and this from here on out, you're going to grab 4 bands. So it's always 4 bands, then 1 turn. 4 bands, then 1 turn. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm sorry, it's 5 bands. 5 bands we do. 5 bands. So every time you turn and you begin, you're going to take 5 bands and place that over top. 5. So you have 3 left. So we started out with 8. We took and put 5 over top, and we're leaving 3 on our hook. Push that down, place the one that's in your finger back up on the hook there. Okay, so this is what you should have. So you can see that this just formed one of your sets, and you know, it kind of makes like that heart shape. Okay, so since we did the first leaf stitch and we grab 5 bands, we repeat the leaf stitch and only grab our first band here. So under, over, only grab the first band and pull that over. Now that completes one complete step or stage, and then you flip your bands over. So we'll take a hook. I'm going to pull down a little bit just to make sure I can get in between a neatly grab all of those bands, take out the existing hook and turn it around. Okay, so since I just did the blue, I'm going to do the I'm so horrible with band name colors. Teal. So again, this stitch, and remember, the first time after you turn your bands around, you're grabbing 5. See this one here? It is a little bit, it is overlapping, so make sure all your bands are straight on your hook. Okay, so we're going to take over 5. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Which out of 8, that 3 remain on our hook. And put this back up. Okay. Now remember, after you do the leaf stitch of 5 bands, always end it with another leaf stitch, just grabbing the first band on your hook. Just like this. Now that completes that side. So you can see when we turn this around, you're going to be grabbing 5 bands. Okay, so again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You have 8 bands on your hook. We just finished this side, so when we turn this around, you're going to be grabbing 5 bands. Okay, so let's turn it around so you can see what I mean. Okay, so when you grab 5, that'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. One of this color will be grouped with the second color, just like down here. Okay, so you get like a mismatch of colors. But this is just one example on how you can do it if you want to change colors every time you turn your bands. So let's go ahead and grab our 5 bands. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 3 left on our hook. Voila. So you can see what I just was telling you. You have that like that heart little shape there, but you have 2 in the dark blue and 1 in the turquoise or teal. So after you grab 5, you do it again, grabbing just the 1. Under, over, and just grabbing the first band and pulling it over like that. That completes that side. Okay, so this is what you should have so far. If you just let it hang, it's pretty dense, like its name. If you give it a little tug, you can see a couple designs forming in there. So you can either use your second hook to transfer, or you can just pinch it right where all these bands meet right here and carefully take out your hook like this and turn it around. Okay, so we're going to grab 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So if you're doing one color, each time you flip it, if you're changing your color, it's always going to take one of that color that's on this side here and the bands in that color there. So I'm going to show you how we can change that after this last one I do. So it's under, over, and take your 5 bands. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And place this back up. And then we do it once more, grabbing just the first band. 1, 2, that, and just grab your first band. And then we place this back up on our hook. Okay? Making sure that your bands are straight. Sometimes they can overlap. Alright, so this is if you want to do 2 colors and changing your colors every time you turn your bands. Now I'd like to show you how to do it where each set has its own color, and like I said, this one here, it has 2 in one color and then 1 in the other color. We're going to change that so we can make all 3 of these in one color. Okay, so now I'm going to go with, let's see, how about white, opaque white, and opaque red. Okay, so you see that long piece there. So if you stop and you're not quite sure what step you're at, if it's long right there, we have to flip it. Okay, so it's super easy. It's just remembering when to change your color. But you know, obviously it's the same steps, same everything. Okay, so the only band that needs to be changed is the band that hangs down right there. Okay, so in our first step, we have to do our leaf stitch that grabs 5 bands, correct? So in order to do that, I take one color, got here, and then I take another color. Now, whatever color you want to be the hanging down one, that's the color you're going to grab that goes down. So when you're doing this right here, and you weave your hook in, you want to pull whichever color you pull down is going to be this band, and whatever color you want in your group will be the one up on your hook. Okay? So on this step we take 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay? And then we're going to put that end back up in here. It's going to take a little bit so I can show you how it forms because we're having to come out of these colors here. Okay, so the next one that we do is we only grab the first band, right? So in this one, you grab 2 of the same color because we want to put those loops up on our hook to create the group. So you do your weave and your leaf stitch, and you take this first band and pull that on top. Now that gives us 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red bands. Okay, so when we pull our groups, we pull in groups of 5, right? So let's flip this. Okay, so since we flipped it, we have to do a group of 5, and we still have this color left, so it's not going to look like it's supposed to yet. Our next one will, but you still get whatever color you want. You see how I said whichever one you want to hang down? This band right here is what connects all of these groups, and then your reds are all hooked up on your hook. So that's why I said, you know, whatever color you want hanging down. So we stitch this up and we have the red up here. Then we're going to slide 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 over. Put this white one back up on our hook. Okay, now you can see that first red one got hooked in, put in that one. So from here on out, we're going to have red groups with white holding them. Okay, so because we just did the 5 on one band, we have to do another leaf stitch with grabbing the first one. So in that case, we grab 2 of the same color, and we bring this white band only over top, and voila, you have all of the same color on top, and your connector bands, this is what I'm going to call these, the connector bands are all down there. So now we're going to take our 8 bands and we're going to turn it around. Like so. Alright, so remember, the first time you do your leaf stitch, grabbing the 5 bands, you want to grab one color. This is the color you want in your group. So whatever color you want your connector band has to be the one hanging. And then we want to take 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then put this one back up on our hook. And there you go. You got your first set that could possibly be a heart if you would like. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 right there. That's what's going to make our next set. Okay, so we want this white band to go underneath. So we grab, for our last leaf stitch, we grab the same color, and this will put our first band, which is white, as the connector down there. Okay, 1, 2. This one is overlapped. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And as you can see there, that's your indicator again that you need to turn it around. All right, then we'll do this one more time, and I think you'll be able to get this. All right, so first leaf stitch is 2 colors. Your connector band is the one you pull down, and now pull your 5 bands over top. Like so, leaving 3 left on your hook. Okay, now we do our last leaf stitch for this side, grabbing 2 of the same color, like so, grabbing the first band and looping that one over like that. So that's how you can have all of your bands in that group the same color, and then have another color connecting your groups. Pretty cool, huh? Alright, there's another pattern that I had found that you can do as well. It's a little bit trickier, but it's still pretty cool. So it's time for us to turn it around. Alright, the other pattern that I did was rainbow, sorry. So I'm going to keep my whites because I want to use those as my connectors. So I'm going to take some orange opaque, yellow opaque, green opaque, and blue. Okay, let me see if I can remember even how I did this. Okay, so in this step we have to take 5, right? We have to take 1 of the connector and then 1 of our color. So I'm going to do a rainbow, but because I did red, I'm going to start with orange. Urgh. Always pulling my white one down. Okay, so I want to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like that. Okay, so I know whenever I flip this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, these 5 are going to get grouped together, right? And then you're going to have 3 bands that are going to be over here. So the next color we want is going to be yellow. So I'm going to do 2 yellow bands. So if you're going to do every one of these a different color, the first, when you grab all 5 bands, you're going to use a white, and then I use an orange. Next color of the rainbow is yellow. So I'm going to grab 2 yellows, and I'm going to weave these in, and then just grab that white band and pull that one over. See? Now that put 3 yellows there and an orange. Okay, and we still have our red left. So we need to flip this over. I hope I'm doing this correctly. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright, so I'm going to have to do, next color would be green. So I do 5 over. like that. Okay, so we got the red out, and now we have, so it'd be red, orange, yellow, green, and the next color of sequence would be blue. But in order for every one of your groups to be, let's try it like this. Okay, so you have yellow, green, and you want your next loop to be blue. After blue comes purple. So why don't we try one blue and one purple? Instead of using white, I want the blue to be up on top here. And then we're going to loop just this first band over. Like that. Okay, so that puts blue on our hook, and then, ta-da, that puts purple up there. But that purple is going to be this connector band here. Just a variation. So we flip this around. Okay, so we have yellow, green, blue, and purple. So I'm going to go back to orange. And I'm going to grab my white because I want the white to be a connector. Oops, maybe we do red because we're doing a rainbow. Okay, I want the red on top. And then I'm going to pull over 5. Okay, that put yellow and green. Now I'm going to use orange. Just grabbing that first one there, putting that back. Now we take all of the 8 bands and we flip them over like so. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Those 5 are going to go. So that was the correct thing to do. I'm sorry. Let's try that again. So I'm going to take, I just used orange, so I take yellow and white. And go weave it in, holding my white down as the connector. And I'm going to pull 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Now I put that back. There we go. Now we have 3 different colors. So in that leaf step, we grabbed 1 white band and a yellow band. In this next one, we're going to grab 2 different colors. So I'm going to grab green and I'm going to grab blue. And the green's going to go first, and that's what this white band will be looped over. Blue goes back up on top. Okay, so now we flip it like that. So every one of these, eventually after we get this one off, will be a different color. So the first one we do a color and a white band, holding down the white, the colors on our hook, and then we take over 5. Okay, so we have blue and green left up here, like that. Now we have to do this one more time so we can grab this white band, the leaf stitch. So in that one, we're going to use purple. We're done. So we go back to red and orange, the next color of the rainbow. I want my red one to be on my hook, orange one hanging down, and we're just going to take and put the white one first band over top like that. Now we have a different color up on our hook. So now we're going to flip it. Sorry, I was a little bit confused there. Okay, once we flip it, and we're going to grab 5. So we're going to grab 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So that's going to be one group. This will be the next group. So we're working on the next group colors for over here. So you see we have red, orange, now we need yellow. Okay, so we're going to grab yellow and white. Okay, your yellow goes up on your hook, and we're going to take these 5 over the top, leaving 3 on your hook. Put the white back. So you have red, orange, and yellow up there. So we need to do this one more time. So our next color will be green and blue. So one green, one blue. Green goes up on the hook, and we're just grabbing this white one and pushing this back up. Okay, so again, every one of your bands is a different color. So we flip this around. Okay, so remember, when you're putting your bands on to grab your sets, you're working on the color combo for this side. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we have red, orange, yellow. That's going to go on our hook. So we're going to be wanting purple to finish off this rainbow. So we do purple. I hope I'm not confusing you. I'm just trying to hopefully give you some different options, because it took me a while to figure out how to change the look of it. And I figure if I took the time to do it, you know, you guys shouldn't have to waste your time trying to do it. So we take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, red, orange, and yellow, green, blue, purple. So see, you're kind of getting a rainbow effect there. Okay, so we still have to hook this one here. So what comes after purple? Be red. So we're going to do one red and one white. Having the white hanging down, and then grab that first one, loop it over. Oh no! Oopsie. That was a close one, huh? Try that again. Alright, so grab the white one, first one loops over, and there we have our sequence again. Okay, so blue, green, purple, red. So what color do you think goes next? Orange. And yellow. So orange is the one that goes up on your hook. Take the first band, put this back on. So blue, green, purple, red, orange, yellow. So we'll just flip it around and I'll show you one last time. And you can always rewind. Okay, so we're going to work on red, orange, yellow, would be green and white. So when you flip it around, the first leaf stitch will always have the white, because that would be your connector bands. Okay. So always the white, and pull your 5 bands over top. There you go. And then your second leaf stitch, where you're just grabbing this first loop, will be the 2 next colors in the rainbow. So since we just did green, we need to do blue and purple together. When we want the sequence to be the blue on the hook holding down the purple. Now we're just grabbing that first one, bringing it over like that. Okay, so it is, to me, it's a little bit tricky. So we have to flip this. Okay, so I'll show you one last time. So when you flip it, it puts your color combos in order. So since we're doing 5 bands, okay, you got red, orange, and yellow. Green, blue, purple. So our next color of sequence would be red, and then our connector band color, white. Okay, so grab all 5. Like so, and there you have it, red, orange, yellow. Okay, so the next color after red in the rainbow comes orange and yellow. So we take an orange and yellow band, and we want the orange to go up on the hook, pulling down on the yellow. Just take the first band, and there you go. Now we have red, orange, and yellow, green, blue, purple. So you've got a rainbow effect, you've got a single color, if you want to say like a heart, we'll go this way, like a heart looking effect, and these at the end are a mixture of colors. So I apologize because I know my tutorials are like 10 years long, but I really wanted to show you your options if you wanted to change up the colors, because you can really make it look any way you'd like. So there you have it. This, then, I'm sorry, if we're at the end, which technically I am, we're kind of at the end right now because it's very loose. To close it up, just take one band and slide it through all 8, and that will close it up like that. So there is your dense foliage bracelet with some variations. It's an awesome bracelet, and I actually like how this one turned out. I think it looks pretty cool. The colors, it's very colorful. Again, this is Suzanne HB on YouTube. Crazy Just Might Work on Instagram. Dense Foliage Design. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. If you did enjoy it, make sure to give me a thumbs up. And if you're interested in seeing some more bracelets being made, and bling ones I may add, go ahead and click the subscribe on my channel. Thank you for watching, and have a good evening. Bye.